Okay, and there we go. So, Herb, thank you again for meeting with us. The purpose of this call is to kick off our strategy and to identify our opportunities, what we're going to optimize and change, and sort of what the expectations are for the next 30, 60, 90 days moving forward. Sorry, you guys
Sorry for
okay?
the ding-a-lings on the other end.
Okay, all right. I thought that was somebody honking.
Oh, no, it was one of my guys letting me know he got to a job.
Okay, great. I was like, look out. I live in Florida, so we hear honking all the time, trust me.
Right? That's hilarious.
Okay, so the first thing we did is conduct a thorough site audit and competitive analysis, not only to understand what to develop is our current state. So really that identifies what you're ranking for, what terms you're ranking for, some of the volume associated with it, and going so on and so forth. So when I first started your scan, and again, these documents will be available to you in your shared drive. I'll make sure that you have clear linkage to that so that it's just in your Google Drive folder, okay?
I'm sorry, are you there?
Yeah, did I lose you for a minute?
I was in a call and I had to decline it. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. So the first thing that we did is conduct a site audit, Herb. So we use a number of tools to scan your site. We look at some of the on-site elements, the technical elements, and then we look at some of your off-page elements. With that, we combine that with our competitive landscape, and then we come up with opportunities in terms of what they're doing, how we can incorporate that similar strategy, but yet have a unique strategy to go along with it. Okay?
Okay.
So diving right in, your site's in pretty good shape, believe it or not, in terms of the technical aspect. Your load time is very good. It loads very, very quickly. It's under 2 seconds. Our standard is usually 3. 3 is like the minimum baseline standards that we like to see for either desktop or mobile applications or mobile phones. So you're well under that criteria, so that's great. So your images are compressed or of high quality. So there's a lot of good elements that are contained with your site. Scanning your site, I did find a number of things in terms of your title tags and meta tag descriptions. We have a number of meta tag descriptions that are missing. This is a pretty important SEO element. It's really the banner, if you will, in the search results. We also like to incorporate some structured data or what they call schema into that so that it can render some 5-star reviews. It could display your site link extensions. And those are important because it takes up more real estate and it gives you more exposure. And Google rewards you that. It's a quality standard saying, hey, this is a quality site, so let's reward it with additional real estate on the front page.
Nice.
Yeah, so looking in a nutshell, you rank essentially for, and this is one of the tools that I use, and branded on your branded keywords, so anything American Handyman, Tucson, your best position is really 1 through 3. We really see 3 as the dominant average position here. So that indicates to me that, yeah, if they know who you are and they're familiar with your brand, they're not going to have too much trouble finding you. So that's great. But where opportunities are, as you know, is as you see here, Handyman Tucson at position 13. So we want to get this as high on page 1 as possible. You know, when our CEO, Matt Bowman, did a seminar last year, and he identified that, you know, the majority of the clicks occur really between positions 1 through 5 on the first page. That's in the organic results. It significantly decreases after that. So really that's where we want to aim for with these types of non-branded queries. So essentially, you really rank for the first page just for your brand name. So the opportunities are wide open here. How we're going to do that is we're going to go through all of your published pages, and specifically with your services. So we want to make sure that we're leading with that keyword in the front. For example, drywall repair and painting. And then we want to make sure that we geo-target that by having Tucson, Arizona within that title tag, and then having the meta tag description match that as well. So that's step one with all of your main pages. So now that's going to differentiate you, and that's going to give you a little bit more keyword diversity while maintaining and improving those positions for your branded keywords. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So that's the first big major step. So that'll be the first 30 days. As soon as our call is over, from the end of this month into January, is improving all of your title tags, your meta tag descriptions, and then refetching those pages. So that's going to give us some opportunity on the non-branded side. Okay. The second thing that we're going to do is an effective backlinking strategy. Right now, your domain authority and your rankings in terms of that is pretty low. It's like 8 and 2.5. We'd like to see that in the 30s and 40s. We do that through really effectively linking your content to high quality other publishers, and then they share that link juice in between. So it brings you some relevant traffic, but that really gives us that sustainability factor. Once we get higher up on page one, we effectively backlink, and that gives us that sustainability factor.
Okay.
So we'll be doing that simultaneously as we're building out your new title tags and meta tag descriptions. And then looking, sorry, specifically here, I'm going through, that will improve these numbers here with your domain authority and the homepage domain authority.
Okay.
And then again, your sample here with your title tag. We won't have any of this truncation in the title tag, and we don't want home in there either. That's not relevant. That's not an effective use of the title tag, so we'll make sure we get that right, cleaned up. So the great thing is you get pretty good health scores. So in terms of the trust factor, how Google trusts your site, you get high scores for that. So once we make these changes, we should see a pretty good change, as we move into the new year and going into January. So nice. Yeah, so that was a really good positive thing that I saw from Google, that your trust factor, your trustworthiness, there's no issues with malware or anything suspicious or anything malicious. So once we make these changes and kind of redelineate what Google, hey, this is what they do, and this is where they do it. Once we really emphasize that with Google and we start getting some more non-branded keywords, of course, the traffic's going to increase, your calls, your emails, so on and so forth. So that's really the centerpiece of the initial strategy. And then continuing that as we move on beyond day 60 and 90. As we go through that, we'll be providing reporting on a monthly basis. So we'll have keywords, keyword ranking, traffic reports, conversion reports, and we trace that on a month-to-month, and then when possible, a year-over-year basis. So we want to make sure that we're not only moving in the right direction, but it's also relevant traffic that has a propensity to convert to a customer or client.
Okay, cool. That's great.
Yeah. So essentially that's it as of right now. It's pretty cut and dry. I don't like to go too far into it when we have these elements that we need to improve right off the bat. We'll jump right on that. We'll get those meta tag descriptions completed. We'll refetch the page. We'll make sure that we're really emphasizing Tucson and the immediate surrounding area within 25, 30 miles. And then again, with the backlinking, and we should see some keyword movement relatively quickly. So I'm excited to see that. Yeah. and where you are ranking, some of them are like, middle of page 2, page 3. So that should move.
Yeah.
That should move into at least the bottom of page 1 relatively quickly. So we'll
Cool.
keep reporting on that and keep you updated on that. We did get all your logins, so that's great. So that means we can start making changes and updates right away.
Wonderful. Yeah.
And let's see what else I got for you on here. Sorry, let's go to and then here I just documented all of your rankings right now in what we call our current state document. Organic for the last for like the last year, and then as you see our keyword report in here. So we want to see this going the opposite direction, not down. We want to see it going up and gaining. Relatively speaking, we want you to rank for relevant terms that your potential visitors and clients would search for. So that's how we match it.
Awesome.
We take a look at like what the searcher would type in, and then we want to match that with your relevant content, and then make sure it ranks on the first page.
Okay, that's awesome. I'm really about improving content for a lot of things. I want to really look professional, not just for handyman service, but for, really look like if someone goes to our site for a bathroom remodel or, anything like that. I don't want them to think, oh, well, these people just do handyman stuff. Or I want to really look relevant for, pretty much anything, really.
Yeah, and handyman is kind of an old. I grew up in the '80s, so that's how we talked. All right.
Right.
Nowadays, they search for specifically what the problem is. So it's like electrical problem with my outlet in the bathroom, and people talk to the search engine if it's their friend. So sometimes you gotta align the query so that it matches. How they search. So we do, like I said, I see a lot of opportunity with your specific services, and right, and that's exactly what we want to start ranking for while maintaining your branded position. So we want the customers that already know you and they're familiar with you to continue to easily find you. So
cool, that's great. Appreciate that so much.
Yeah, so we're really excited to get started. We see a world of opportunity, like I said. And you get some pretty good health scores from Google. So once we make these fundamental changes and then start, like I said, re-triggering the crawler, we should see a pretty good impact, like within that 30 and 60-day mark.
Good, man. That's what I need. I really need that. You don't understand how much money I'm, spending and throwing at pay-per-click stuff when it's not,
Yeah.
I don't think it should be that necessary, right? I should be able to rely on the organic search a lot more.
Or they should at least work together for you. So
right, absolutely.
The last component, so this would be going into day, like middle of the 30-day mark, going into the 60-day mark. We create something called structured data and schema. This has come a long, long way. Essentially, it's JavaScripting that's really cut down. They have a lot of opportunities and options now with structured data and schema. So we'll be developing that, like I said, and that's going to complement you. That's good. That gives you additional keywords. It's not something you see on the website. It's just on the back end coding that really, it's really meant for the crawlers to decipher. But it does have a tremendous impact. It really hones in on your audience and the area that you want to be displayed in. So that would be going into day 35, going into the into day 60 and beyond. So again, lots of opportunity. We're going to take it from the lowest hanging fruit, going up the opportunity tree, and all that is going to result in some better rankings. That's going to result in some better traffic, and your feedback is also paramount, Herb. So as we move through this period, let me know if you're getting irrelevant phone calls all of a sudden. And I mean, like, every once in a while someone misdials and they, oops, sorry. But if that becomes a pattern,
yeah, that happens already, just because of the pay-per-click stuff. So I don't I don't expect to really see much of a change in that. I mean, right?
Okay. Well, okay. So from the organic aspect, but you won't know how to decipher that as of right now. We could do that after the fact when we're looking at reporting. But yeah, you won't have a way to decipher that from the initial phone call. So, but I'll keep an eye on the form submissions, make sure we're at least getting some relevancy there. And yeah, again, your feedback's important. So that should improve, right? So as we get, you know what I mean? As we get more exposure in the right direction, that phone should improve in terms of, hey, I found your organic. A lot of people don't even know if they were in the organic section or if they were in the ad section. So
yeah, exactly. They're just doing their thing, and
they're like, I'm holding back the dam right now. Hurry! We're underwater. We're swimming in our living room. Help us, hurry!
Exactly.
I joke about that, but that happened to my neighbor. They were redoing in the apartment complex. They were redoing the hot water heaters, and they forgot to solder the pipe. And she went to work, and the pipe broke, and she was on the ground floor, and her dog was swimming, and her furniture was floating. Yeah, when she opened it up, it was like in a movie, like the water comes rushing out.
Wow.
Yeah, poor thing.
Oh,
but the dog was
awful.
okay.
Right?
Yeah, the dog was paddling, so it was all right.
There you go, right?
Yeah, Fluffy made it. So yeah.
Good to hear.
All right, now Herb, do you have any questions for me?
No, I don't think I do at this point yet. I'm definitely excited to have you guys helping me here, and yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, so we'll jump right in. We'll be able to make some changes before the end of the year, and then, like I said, I'll get all of our reporting set up. We'll deliver a report this month, but keep in mind we're going to have some limited data due to the fact that we just got our credentials and everything, and I'll get analytics set up. So we'll have a couple days of data, and then, but we will deliver reports for you as of January, the first 5 days of the month. So when we come back for the new year.
Okay, great, man. Thank you. I appreciate all you do.
No problem, Herb. You have a wonderful holiday, Christmas, New Year.
You too.
And we'll have our reporting delivered in January, and then we'd like to typically plan a meeting right after that. Then we can kind of go over the changes that we were able to do and give a quick snapshot on how we're doing.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mike. Have a wonderful holiday.
You too, Herb. Thanks so much, and we'll chat soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Right. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.